Hello, my friends. I am here and I am alive, or at least more alive than I was last week when I filmed this Cry Fest. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for being back here again today. I'm feeling a lot better, but like I told you guys, this is going to be a roller coaster as I recover from the misdiagnosis. I was just standing up and I should have given myself more time to breathe before I started talking. Okay. I told you guys already that my family and I took a little weekend getaway, just literally a tiny little road trip to an Airbnb where we did a couple of really low-key activities, and then I took a lot of naps in between the things that were wearing me out, like going for a walk. I'm not really well enough to travel right now, so this was a really good middle ground way to travel. It was a way that we could work around my illnesses, around the baby's nap schedule, and around the rain that happened for almost our entire trip. But don't worry, we still had a great time. I think that when people see my life and how hectic and chaotic it is to keep up with everything, they're like, what would that even look like on a road trip? How can you even do anything or accomplish anything if you're not at home? And so I wanted to tell you guys about our itinerary and what we ended up doing, because the point of this was to be very relaxing and to pretty much do nothing other than some gentle exploring around where we were staying. And so for a lot of you guys who are also sick or who are also struggling with even just chaoticness of having a baby while you're pregnant, there's a fly. It's gone. What was my sentence? I guess this is just meant to be sort of an example itinerary for a relaxing trip that you can do even when you're migraine-y, even with a baby, even with some rain, with a service dog. Little getaways are possible, and I would like to refer my future self back to this video anytime I'm like, no, I can't go on a vacation, it'll be too stressful. There are small things that you can do to make sure that you're improving your quality of life without going balls to the wall and being like, I'm gonna fly across the country to Disneyland. I do want to fly to Disneyland. It's not the Rona. In next week's video, I'm going to talk about the mental side of being disabled, how I have been able to handle my mental health, both at home and through therapy. I'm going to give you the exact resources that I have. So if you're interested in that, honestly, or even if you're not interested in that, hit subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Liking, subscribing, commenting really does help my analytics. It helps my channel grow, and that helps me make more content for you. So I really appreciate you guys being here for me, and I hope that you're looking forward to that mental health video next week. In my typical imperfect YouTuber fashion, I did not plan out any of this really. I took some clips for you while we were on the trip. Migraine Jen tried to vlog a little bit. I told you guys some stories while I was on the trip. And so I'm just gonna sit here and tell you about what we did each day. And I'm going to interrupt myself with just random clips that I bop in all over the place from when we took our vacation. So I'll be sitting here a lot, but I'm also just gonna clip, because I don't think I can actually make this into a polished video without planning it ahead of time and having a storyline and all that stuff. Like, no. Let's just wing it. Now, Migraine Jen also tried to do an introduction for you. I'm going to show that to you now, and then we will get right into the video. I'll let you know all about our little mini weekend getaway. Letting loose on vacation? Hi guys, it's Migraine Jen, and I'm on a little weekend getaway with my family. The plan is to do almost nothing. Hopefully we can stick to that plan. Hi guys, this is Migraine Jen. I'm back. It's been a minute, literally, and I realized that wasn't a very good introduction to the thing. I gave Buddy a blanket and I'm pleased with myself. This fly is going to be the death of me. We did a barbecue last night or the night before, and every time we do a barbecue, I swear 2 or 3 flies follow us in. We try to keep the door closed, but you know you can't do that perfectly. Anyway, I have my notes, obviously, because my brain isn't going to keep track. So let's talk about what happened on this trip. Our trip was, like I said, very short. We left Thursday, got there Thursday night, and we came back on Monday morning. How many nights is that? Just 4 nights away from home. The night that we got there, Thursday night, not much happened. We sat, we chilled, we planned out what was going to happen, we got some really good steak burgers, and that was about it. So most of the story is going to start the next morning, Friday morning. Friday was also the only day that rain wasn't on the forecast for the entire day. It wasn't supposed to rain until about 5 p.m. The rest of the weekend, it was like 40 to 70%. So it was off and on, just a few hours here, a few hours there, get some rain for a little while, and then it would stop for a little while. So we were definitely needing to work around that. We were obviously working around my migraine cycles, and then we were also working around the baby's nap schedule. If you keep a baby up from their nap, they're mad. You can't really do anything with a mad baby. So we were trying to let her sleep when she needed to sleep and then go exploring when she was awake. But unfortunately, this was her first time being away from home, her first time sleeping away from home, and I think even her first time napping away from home, formally. So she did have a lot of trouble sleeping at first, especially those first couple of days, so it was hard to predict when she was going to nap. Usually the baby takes a nap in the morning, so we got up and we had a snack and we were thinking that the baby was going to fall asleep. She barely slept the night before, she was acting really tired, but then she just wouldn't sleep. So we decided to walk around a little bit. We found this little outdoor dock pier area. We were right by a lake. There was a little shopping strip. I mean, this is why we chose the location that we were at. We wanted a bunch of stuff to be walking distance so that we wouldn't have to deal with all the car and the car seat and the mayhem because, you know, we're dealing with all these variables. We didn't take any pictures of that or anything. I think we were all still sort of recovering from the night before and all the traveling, but it was nice to see what we were working with. We eventually ended up at this pie place for breakfast, which, oh my gosh, it was just such a great experience. I will let Jen from the trip tell you about the pie place. Okay, I have to tell you a hilarious story from when we were at the cafe this morning. Great pregnancy cry moment in a restaurant. So we were there, the whole gang. It was me and my husband, the baby, and Betty. And my husband and I each ordered a dish, and the waitress was super awesome. She brought out this little tray of, oh, hello. I'll call them appetizers. Oh, I'm turning into migraine, Jen, by the way. So I'm doing really well right now, but I'm definitely, having some brain stutters. The waitress was amazing. She was talking about her grandkids and offered to bring out for free a little tray of stuff that she likes to give to her grandkids to give to the baby. And I was like, yes! It was really exciting. She loved the whole thing. And she got to try olives for the first time. So I'll insert that clip at the end of this part of me talking. Let's get back to the pregnant cry. My husband and I each ordered a breakfast, and when we were halfway through the meal, the waitress said, well, the owner just decided to give out free pies to... Yep, that was what was next. We said, what? Free pie? We were just trying to decide what kind of pie Dad's gonna get. Yeah. Mama what? Baba, you want your baba? Okay. All right, let's get your baba. Hold on. Intermission. Got the baba. So she's like, free pie. And I'm like, man, that's so sweet. We were literally just talking about what kind of pie my husband was going to get. And we assumed that I could not have the pie because usually pie has butter. Was I not even going to ask? I guess I was kind of just assuming I couldn't, and it was going to be a blessing if I could. Anyway, asked about the butter. She said I could actually have it. There actually isn't dairy in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, free pie that I can have. And then the cherry on top that actually got me weeping in a restaurant this morning because of my pregnant hormones. Now, pregnant me doesn't cry very much in the negative direction. I actually have mood swings in the positive direction where I get excessively grateful. I get excessively happy and I just cry. Shoot, what was I talking about? This is why my eyes get so red. Come on. You know what it is? They get dry when I flare up. Oh yeah, so the cherry on top. When I was a kid, my dad drove a blue 1989 Corvette, and he would drive me to and from gymnastics in it. But what he did was he changed out the stereo so that he could have this little thumb drive in it and put his own music in it. And some of that music was Eric Clapton. There's a particular Eric Clapton song that I just absolutely love called Change the World. Anyway, it became this inside song between my dad and I, so much so that I had to choose an Eric Clapton song for the first dance song for my dad and I at my wedding with Bri. Whew, I'm out of breath. Okay, sitting here getting my free pie that I can have, that I am not allergic to, in a pie bakery, and Change the World by Eric Clapton comes on the radio. That was it. Done. Pregnant Jen, sobbing. Not sobbing. But I definitely welled up. I was definitely so happy. Do you remember anything I said, babe? Give free pie to a pregnant woman and this is what happens. So yeah, that's the story of being hormonal and pregnant in a restaurant this morning. Here's the baby trying olives. Baby's getting her first piece of olive. Let's see if she likes it. How do you feel about it, honey?
She ate it.
She's so wrong. I really hate olives. My husband likes them. They're so gross. I almost can't even handle smelling them. Yeah, so that happened. Total absolute cry fest in a restaurant, but the baby liked her first olive. After that, I think it might have been post lunchtime. And since the rain was going to be starting and we had a fire pit at our Airbnb, we were like, this is our one time to do a fire. We should do a fire. So the baby fell asleep like right when we got home. We got to be outside alone. We just brought the baby monitor out. And this is actually one of my most fond memories from the trip. My husband and I were sitting alone as if it was the pre-baby days, and it was nice to just sort of be on that date with him. We stayed out by the fire until we got rained out. We took a quick trip to go get some groceries. Here's Buddy and I walking down one of the aisles. And then we ordered a pizza. You can tell this side is mine because it doesn't have cheese. What does this mean? All right, let's eat. Since we had a great experience at the pie place the first morning, we decided to go right back to the same place the next morning. Let's see. Now we're on Saturday. Buddy alerted me that I was going to have a migraine, so after breakfast we went home and I took a nap while the baby took her nap, and my husband left with Buddy to give him a really nice long walk while the rain was not raining. How do you say that? While the rain let up? Words. And, oh, I'm glad I reminded myself of this. Buddy found a squirrel that he really liked, so my husband took this clip for you guys to see Buddy with the squirrel friend that he made that morning. How did you get so wet, Mr. Bubs? How did you get so wet? When Buddy and my husband got back from that walk, that was when I got my second migraine alert. Now that one, Buddy was acting really weird because I was standing up and he needed me to come down to him. So I tried to take a video of that and then I asked him if he wanted to go for a ride. Well, Buddy, you have something to tell me. You have something you want to say. Good boy. I'm gonna die soon. Oh, thank you. Hey, buddy. Do you want to go for a ride? I'm not driving. Do you want to go for a ride? And he's off. Yep, we did a road trip forked off of our road trip. My husband drove, obviously. It was pouring rain, so it's not like we could see all the scenery perfectly clearly, but it was the perfect activity to do with a migraine Jen, crappy weather, a dog that wanted to get out, and literally nothing better to do. Heck yeah, vacation! So here's a montage of some of the scenery that we got to see during our road trip. During our road trip's road trip. At that point, my migraine had run its course. Remember, it started way early in the morning, and I usually have a 7 or 8 hour migraine or like a 78-hour migraine. I get two different flavors. This one was an 8-hour migraine, so I started to perk up, but I was still feeling pretty tired because, well, I just had a migraine, and we had just done a drive. We really didn't feel like going out to dinner or cooking anything. We decided to just eat leftover pizza from the night before, but we were missing a very crucial component that we learned we were missing the night before, so take a look at this clip. So you know how when you're in college and you run out of beer, you have to, wow, that's like rain with the street light. I'll stay back here. Okay, this isn't going very well. You know when you're in college and you run out of beer and you need to go to the store, and so you get that one sober friend and then they drive you to the store and then everybody gets whatever they want and then you can go back to your party. So we're doing that right now, except for I can't even drink because I'm pregnant. Nobody is drinking. The thing that we're at the store for right now is emergency ranch, and I'm allergic. Oh, and I have a baby in the car. A lot changes in 10 years. You're different too, huh? Service dog, life is not what you plan out. I will tell you that.
Success!
Success! Good morning. It's our last full day now in the Airbnb. This was Sunday morning, and I was on a mission to get breakfast burritos. I asked the baby if she wanted a breakfast burrito. I'm not sure if she wanted it. Now, if you were on Instagram, my Instagram stories, you already saw this the morning of a couple of weeks ago. If you're not on my Instagram, check out the baby's response to breakfast burritos. Good morning. Do you want a breakfast burrito? I only speak English. I don't know what language that was. We tried to go to breakfast burritos. They were closed. It was Sunday. I'm from California. Most things don't close on Sundays in California. And we wanted to try a different breakfast place because we already went to that other place twice. So, where did we go? We went to this breakfast place with, this is what I wrote in my notes, tatted, pierced mom of wonderfulness and banana slices. Yeah, waitress was awesome, and she brought this giant pile of banana slices for the baby, and the baby just went nuts. Loved them. That day, it was also off and on raining, but there was this indoor marketplace strip thing, so we went into the indoor marketplace and shopped around in the little shops in there. Buddy did great. There was actually another dog in there that was, I don't think it was a service dog. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the marketplace is even dog friendly, but I had Buddy working. I had him on duty with his harness and everything just to make sure that everyone knew not to touch him because there were so many people. But he did great around the other dog. I was really thrilled with that. Thrilled because at that point, dude, Buddy was freaking amped. I always say service dog, not service robot. Even the most highly trained dogs are still dogs. Like, even the most well-behaved 4-year-old is still a 4-year-old. You can only get so much out of a dog. So Buddy was like a little bit wired, and then there was another dog, and there's not much that gets Buddy more excited than children and other dogs. So there was a lot for him to ignore while we were shopping there, and I was thrilled with how he was doing because I could tell that he was really showing a lot of self-control. When it's your dog, you can just tell when it's one of those days. So once the rain let up, we went ahead and left. We went outside, and there was a nice path along some water so that Buddy could get some sniffs out and be off duty for a little while and just recuperate. So here are some clips from wandering around by a lake. There was a train. It was just beautiful scenery. Here you go. Check this out.
Buddy, Buddy, do you see the train?
Good boy. Good buddy.
Our very last night of the trip, we decided to go out to a fancier restaurant to eat. And when we asked for a platter of food for the baby, they brought out olives, but they brought out fancy olives that she really didn't like. So we excitedly gave her a scoop, and we thought she was going to really love it, but there must have been something on the olives because she went, I feel bad, but it's really cute. And then she passed out on Dad. Look at how freaking cute this picture is. Oh. The restaurant was on the water, but we did decide to eat inside because it was rainy and cold and wet and windy. But after our meal, it did happen to not be raining for that little bit, so we walked along the water instead, and we took this amazing photo, which once again, if you were on Instagram, you already saw this photo. If you're not on Instagram and you love seeing photos of us like this that aren't just me talking on YouTube, you should really be following us over there. My handle is Momming with Migraine, the same as here, but no spaces, no funny stuff. We just enjoyed a quiet last night back at the Airbnb after that, and probably felt really sad that the trip was coming to a close. The next morning, all we did was go back to the second breakfast place with the tatted pierced mom, had a nice breakfast there, and then we checked out of our place and headed home. It's always hard coming back to reality after something like that. To be honest, guys, when I watch other creators on YouTube, I'm not usually too interested in their travel vlogs. I don't usually understand the point of following along someone else on vacation. But now that I'm sick and there's so much mayhem and chaos in my life, I felt like it might actually be valuable to those of you who feel the same way as I do. Like, who feel like you can't keep up with the norm of going on these big fancy vacations, and then maybe that keeps you from experiencing any little trips at all. So I hope that this inspires you and maybe even inspires me in the future to go on trips, even if they're small, even if it's just a night or two, even if it's down the street from your house. Go sleep somewhere else, try a new restaurant, watch a movie in a room that isn't yours, because breaking the routine and then coming back into your home just really gives you a nice mindset shift. It gives you a good reset so that you can feel refreshed and ready to keep going with your work. Or if you're like me last week, it'll give you a brain explosion. You'll have to recover for a few days, and then you'll feel refreshed and ready to get back into your work. And that's okay. Other people can go on vacations and they'll go for a walk and then go out to eat and then they won't have to take a nap afterwards. And that's fine. Good for them. If you're like me, that's not the case. So all you really need is a travel buddy who is well and who can kind of hold it down when you're not there, who can do the driving when you can't drive. And if you plan it all out with expectations that everybody is aware of, then you can have a really, really great time. I think a lot of what made this trip the success that it was is that we both went into it knowing that we were going to relax as much as possible. We both knew that we were going to have to take breaks for me and my migraines. We both knew that the baby was going to have to sleep. We knew that the rain was going to keep us in. In fact, I think there was a day that we watched 2 movies in a row because it was just a sick day. I think that was Friday. We watched a movie, got pizza for takeout, and then watched another movie. Sometimes that's just what has to happen on vacation when you're sick. Sometimes you have to have these burner days. I call them burner days. But that doesn't mean you're not having a good vacation. I mean, I spent a day sitting outside by a campfire. I know some people can't handle the smoke, but that was nice. And it wasn't at home. It was on vacation. Like, guys, I got to go on vacation. It was low-key vacation, but it was vacation. This was my first time being on vacation in 2 years. It's been since 2019. It's the end of September 2021. Long overdue. That's what happens when you're sick. You don't have time for a trip, but it is so good for your health if you can make it happen. I'm not saying you have to in order to be happy. I'm just saying that if you're on the fence and you feel the itch like I was feeling the itch and you don't know what you can handle, start with something small. You might be surprised at what you can accomplish. I certainly was. You can always do more once you're there. Plan for hella naps. Do more once you get there if you feel up for it. Yeah? Alright, I think that's it. Once again, please thumbs up, hit like, subscribe, comment. We have a mental health video coming out next week. Let me see what else is coming up. You guys need to learn the gender of the new baby. And I think pretty soon I'll be talking to you about who my new doctor is, who figured out that I actually have high cranial pressure, not just migraines. If you have POTS and your symptoms are similar to mine, you may be interested in some of the things in that video. Potential resources. And I'm going to leave it at that. So make sure that you are subscribed. I'll show you the bump and then I'll see you guys next time. 24 weeks.